Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Colleen Beamish from Humor Bean Cards, and today I will be making a Mother's Day card featuring the A Mole Lot of Flowers stamps and dies from Lawn Fawn. This is such a cute little set, perfect for Mother's Day or just for sending some spring warm wishes. I also have the Lawn Fawn Big Blossom Backdrop portrait die, which allows you to kind of create a scene on your entire card front. So that's exactly what I'll be doing today. Now I'm taking out the Petite paper pack Bitsy Blooms patterns from Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to be using this for pretty much all of my die cutting today. So the background of my card, as well as the flowers and the flower petals and the flower stems, is all going to be from various pattern papers. So I'm starting with the green pattern, and I'm just going to cut the big blossoms right out of that. So that will be the frame as well as the stems of the blossoms. Now to add a bit of color and dimension, I'm going in with some Distress Oxide inks. I have the colors Bundled Sage and Shabby Shutters, and then I'm taking just a very small blending brush, and I'm going to blend right over the leaves and the stems on this die cut. Now I am trying to leave the frame without any blending on it, so all of the color is pretty much just on the pieces that are inside the frame. This adds distinction between the frame and those more decorative pieces, which I really liked. The other option is that you could die cut out a separate rectangle, like you could do ink blending all over it and then do a separate rectangle around the outside, but I just did one piece here and will do my ink blending in select areas. So I'm just going at the bottom of the leaves and the tops of the leaves, adding kind of like shading, and I'm just pushing that color around. The great thing about Distress Oxide inks is that they're really blendable, so that makes it easy to add a bit of color. I also really appreciate how I'm adding the ink on top, and this is what Distress Oxide allows you to do. It adds the ink on top without like settling into the paper, so you can still see the pattern behind the ink blending. So I did all of that, and then I'm going to actually cut out two more of these frames from some heavyweight white cardstock, and I'm just going to layer them on top of each other. This will just add some dimension to the card without making it too thick, because if I were to use foam tape, it would really pop it up. So I'm just using a couple layers of paper, and I'm using my Barely Arts liquid glue to glue these all together. And I just love the effect that has, and it's really easy and simple to do. I think that bit of dimension really makes a difference. Next up, I'll be doing a similar process with the rest of the pieces of this die set. So the die set cuts out that frame, and then it also cuts out some flowers and some little details. Now, I did run some of the flowers through multiple times through my die cutting machine, so I have multiples. But first I'm adding some color to this one flower using Picked Raspberry Distress Oxide ink, and then I'll come in with some Abandoned Coral. So I'm actually gonna layer these two pieces together, and so I want them to have kind of opposing colors. And my inspiration was actually the flower Echinacea, also known as coneflower, and those come in some varieties of colors, but I really like the pink and kind of orangey coral ones, and so that was what was inspiring me for today's flowers. Now I have the other cut of flower, so there's ones that are kind of like as if the bloom hasn't opened yet, and then there's some that are like really open, and this is the open one. So again, I'm using the same colors, Picked Raspberry and Abandoned Coral. You'll see how I kind of go from one edge, leaving the ends of the flower kind of the main color of the paper, and I'm just adding color to the top and kind of pushing it outwards. That just allows to add some shading and kind of just makes it a little bit more fun and dimensional rather than just a flat flower. So again, I did more flowers than necessary. Ultimately on my card front there will be 3 flowers total, but since I'm going to stack them on top of each other to add some like more dimension and colors, I did cut out 4 of the open flower and then 2 of the closed flower. Now there's one more little piece here, and that is going to be on the closed flower. It's kind of like the little leafy part of the stem that is holding the flower closed, and I'm just doing the same thing I did with the frame, adding some of those 2 green colors so that it kind of blends in with the stems we already colored. And then the last bit of ink blending I'll do is on the centers of the flowers. So I have 3 cut here. I only end up using 2, but I'm actually going in with Frayed Burlap which is a brown color ink. And if, like I said, I was inspired by Echinacea, and that does have a brown center usually with kind of like orangey spikes. So I went in with Frayed Burlap, and then I'm going to come in with spiced Marmalade, and that will add the orange kind of right on top. So I like that blend, and I like how it's different from just doing like, you know, your classic yellow center. So now I'll start assembling my flowers. So like I said, I'm going to layer them on top of each other. So the layer that's going to be in the back, I'm actually cutting off one of the petals, and that will allow me to put them together without one petal kind of oddly sticking out. So the front flower has 5 petals and the back flower has 4, and then I'll just put glue just on the bottom portion of the flower, and I will glue them together. And by not gluing together all of the top petals, it allows you to kind of fluff them up for more dimension. So I always recommend when you're putting flowers on your card to not glue down all the petals if possible. So that is the closed flower, and then I'm just adding that little green piece on, and that will complete that one. Now moving on to the other larger flowers. Again, I'm going to cut off one of the petals for the back flower. All of my flowers, I put the pink layer, the picked raspberry layer on top, and the abandoned coral layer behind. I did kind of think about alternating it, but I decided to keep them all uniform. But you can do so many things with the colors of these flowers. They're so universal and fun. You could definitely be inspired by daisies or black-eyed Susans. I always, go to Pinterest for color palettes too. So you can do whatever color you're feeling. Now, similar to the closed flower, I will just glue these together, making sure that the back flower kind of peeks out a little bit and is a little bit further down so that you get a lot of that. You can see the layers and there's plenty of dimension. And then lastly, I'll just add the centers of the flowers, and those line up so easily. So very quickly and very easily, I have these gorgeous flowers to add to my card front. And you could definitely use these flowers separate from the frame die. You could just put them right onto a card on their own. I think that'd be super pretty. So I will go ahead and adhere all of these flowers to the frame. So I'm just putting glue right on that kind of like, I don't even know what to call it, the little end, the semicircle end of the stems here, and then I'll flip over the frame and just making sure that they're actually lining up so that I'm getting as much adhered as possible. You could definitely add more glue down the stem. I wasn't really worried about it, but they seem pretty secure. So I am absolutely loving how this frame turned out. I think I'm going to make many more of these because it's just so fun and perfect for spring, which I know we're all in the mood for. So next, I'll get to assembling the card base. So I have some heavyweight cardstock here cut down to an A2 card base. And then I'm taking another piece of the patterned paper from that paper pack. This is a nice yellow color. And I'm just gluing that right down to the card base. So it was just an A2 panel of that. And I'm using my liquid glue for that. You can definitely use whatever heat adhesive floats your boat. And then I'm going to glue my frame right down. Now remember, this is actually 3 of the frames stacked together, so you will see that it's not going to be flat on my card. It is raised just a little bit, and I really like the touch that adds. Now moving on to the focal point of my card. Like I said before, I'm using A Mole Lot of Flowers stamps and dies. So I actually die cut out all of the shapes first, and then I lined it up in my Misty, and then I'm stamping down the images with some Gina K Amalgam Black ink. I'll actually do all of my coloring off screen just because it was very basic coloring. And now I'm moving on to my sentiment. So I actually have a little heart speech bubble here, and that's from A Mole Lot of Love stamp set, which is a Lawn Fawn stamp set that was released a couple releases ago, back in January maybe or February. And it has these little heart speech bubbles, and it comes with a coloring stencil. So I'm actually going to use some yellow ink and just blend a pretty even layer of color on this little heart speech bubble so that it kind of blends in with my background. I didn't want this speech bubble to be a stark contrast to what we have going on the card, so I'll just do a little bit of ink blending. I should also mention that all of the products I'm using in today's video are available at ScrapbookPal.com and will be linked down in the description below, so be sure to check that out. Once I have my little heart all ink blended, I'll actually also put it in the MISTI, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment. Now this sentiment is included in the A Mole Lot of Flowers stamp set, and it's just a little one that says Happy Mother's Day, and it fits absolutely perfectly into this little speech bubble. So I will go ahead and stamp that in that same Gina K Amalgam Black ink. So like I said before, I did my Copic coloring off camera, and now you'll kind of see me put the card together. So I will take my little wheelbarrow friend and the little guy inside, and I'll use my liquid glue and just put it at the bottom of the little critter, and then I'll adhere that to the back of the wheelbarrow. And I just think this is so cute. It makes me so happy. And then I will pop this up on my card front with some foam tape. Now, this card is not going through the mail. I'm actually going to give this card to my sister because this is her very first Mother's Day, and I thought this would be the perfect card for her, so I'm just going to give it right to her. But if it is going through the mail for you, maybe use less foam tape, and you could even just stack card stock behind it, just like we did with the frame, or adhere it right down. The way the frame is popped up gives you enough dimension to glue this right down. But I am going to pop mine up because I think a little bit more dimension could never hurt anyone. So once I do that, I'm actually going to adhere all of our little additions with foam tape. So I have a little heart, and then I have a couple butterflies from some other Lawn Fawn sets, and then I'll also put the sentiment up on foam tape as well. So it's all popped up, which keeps it really fun. Now the final touch for this card is just adding highlights with a white gel pen. I think that the details added with a white gel pen are one of the most important steps, especially when using Lawn Fawn products. It just makes it like 10 times cuter, and I don't know what the science is behind that, but it is just so sweet when they have those little like highlights like on the mole's little belly and his little blushy cheek. So I always recommend adding in some highlights. So I will do it on our little critters, and then I'll also add some actually to the flowers and the leaves and stems behind them, as well as the little butterflies. Just like highlights all around. I really think this is a detail that makes a difference. And that completes my card today. I think this is so sweet. I'm so excited to give it to my sister. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel because there's always more crafty inspiration here. And I hope to see you again real soon. Thanks. Bye.